But you see that everything that God is, you say God is instead. Fine. But why? What he is not makes him what he is? Fine. But I want to return you to one truth. I know that God is. I don't know what God is. Every now and then I think I know what God is. They tell me what God is. Give me a definition. A definition. A definition is like this. I'm going to take a block of wood and I'm going to give it definition. Well, God is like this, chisel. I just gave him a definition. God is all that is. That is why he is the great I am that is in every I am that ever can be. God's so mighty, he can even think he's me. He's even mighty, he can even think he's you. You female sheep, you. Don't always try to be a ram. Even rams are you. Hey you. Hey you. A shepherd knows that. Are you just looking at yous and you don't see the great I am? I am that I am. Moses was told by God, I am that I am. He didn't say I am what I am. He said I am that I am. Which I am are you? I am all I ams. For I'm the great I am. You are I am. And that's what they mean by the Father. And do you see the Father behind the eyes of everyone? Does your church teach you that? They say, you are godly, like God. We'll talk about like God in a minute. How much like God are you? Well, what does God do? Never mind, if you want to be like God, you're going to have to do so too. But we're not going to talk about that right now because that might be a mouthful for you. But how like God are you going to be? Like Michael's name. Who is like God? Now that could be like, who is like God, Lucifer? For there is only one. One sole heir, that's the Father. In every soul, that's the Son. All are souls of God. All are God's souls. We are angels. L's, E-L, means God in Hebrew. Just like Michael ends with an E-L, Gabriel, Mikael is Michael. These are all L's. They are all angels. All different angles looking back at each other, going, I am that I am, to you, to each other. They know that they are the same soul. And to me, that's the true definition of the Elohim. And we'll talk about Elohim in a minute and see the masculine in that. But not for right now. Okay, we'll hold off on that. I'm sorry I jump ahead sometimes. But when you see that one life that is all things, finally click. So that's why Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. Wow. That's why he said, love God with all your heart, might, mind, and strength. That's why. He said, whatsoever the least of these, whatever you've done to the least of these, including the greatest, again, that are the children. But who are the least, even the least worthy? Love your enemies, for you have done them unto me. And that was the message of the Messiah. Messiahs send a message. Sometimes one age, look at the two syllables. Sometimes in a day and age on earth, an age, things become a mess. So God sends a Messiah to remind us who we are. And those who want to exalt themselves above others will not accept it. But those who know the soul, S-O-L, the kingdom of the Son, the celestial glory, that is the truth, they know the truth. And they walk on earth and they say, not otherwise. They don't tell people, you can be like a God. If you're tested, follow the tester. One more time. They don't say that. There's no doubt. We don't sow seeds of doubt. Are you sowing seeds of doubt as you teach the gospel of Jesus Christ? Sometimes I see the word gospel as this, because I see words in words now. There's words in the spelling. Ha ha ha, the spell. No, I'm just kidding you, L-E-L. Well, go spell. What? Go spell? Gospel? Yes. Adam, call it anything you want. Name everything in the garden, Adam. I want you to call everything in the garden, but I want you to look at it closely and magnify what you're calling it. Magnify your calling. What do you see in the specks that you call the dust? magnify it closer. For every speck of dust is like gold. It's the soul. It is all one. Even scientists nowadays say, all is a wave, but yet particles are. Waves and particles are one. And we'll get into that another day. But practice seeing one in all you do, for Satan wants to separate you from God and tell others, that is not God. But you can be godly. I hope you're godly. You just denied God. And he loves it when you do that. And his slippery tongue will get into your religion. And in the name of God, you will do and teach many marvelous things. Yet, I know you not. Depart from me, you workers of iniquity. Because that is not the truth. The truth is the way, the truth, and the life. How much does the universe weigh? How big is it? How big is all that is, all that I am? I am able to be anything, for I am God, and I know it. Do you get lost in the die vision? Okay, practice seeing one. For think about this. If Mormons say someday they will be God, the rest of the religions say we will be godly, but that depends upon the ungodly. For only to be godly, we must have that which is not godly. So if all was godly, you might say, well, what's the point? That is the point. Stop trying to be appointed. All is pointing, and no one is appointed instead. Okay, that's what angels do. All are pointing. I am that I am. I am that I am. And they look at the other I am and say the same. All are pointing, but nobody is appointed, Lucifer, to have the glory instead over all the souls, the stars, even the celestial kingdom. You do that? You said you would exalt yourself above the kingdom of the stars, but you will be debased. And we'll get into that later. But I want you to practice seeing one. Stop practicing death with your breath, the spirit that you are. Die vision, one vision. Vision, one vision, one life. Vivir. Vivir in Spanish. Vive, revive. We say it in English. Survive. Oh, I must just survive. I must die. Vivir. Vision. Life. The VI comes from the word vivir, which is life. Vivir. In Spanish. Sion. Zion. One life. One life. One life. That is the way. The truth. The one truth from which you make all these things true, you blues. Nevertheless, you're not so blue, because you cannot be bluer than the truth. So I may say to you, well, that is true. Nevertheless, can you say likewise? For all is Zion, one life, and that's the truth.